you're live. I'm alive, I tell you, live. And nobody's here. All right. Hello, everybody. Nobody. Oh, no, tell a lie. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Blimey, there's a delay. I have to kind of get used to this. Easy, people. As opposed to hi, everybody. Here we are again with the Akai Force Q&A Club number 2. I appreciate everybody who tuned in for the last time. And again, this time I'm going to be taking you through loads of things. Oh, wait a minute. I can do better than that. Easy. Hey, I've leveled up a little. So I just thought I'd show my face. I'm not even quite used to this. I'm not even used to my own face. So I'm looking into, I got an extra little camera from my old phone. So I'll keep doing this. If people can super chat and that, I can get better gear, I guess. But I'm just doing this for doing this. That's a good question. Well, it's not even a question, but I'll tell you. The reason why I show and do these videos, because I like to share stuff. And I think if you share things, like the technology progresses, or the situation always progresses, music progresses, things get better. And with better stuff, better music. And that's why I try to show it. I'm not kind of person, I don't have any secret sources. I've got loads of things where somebody could sell this, but I'll just give it for free. The way I look at it is like a time machine. Easy flow, Dre. It's like, not like a time machine. I can't think of an analogy. You know what I mean? I'm just making it up as I go along. Let me just move this chair out of the way. But yeah, I like to share anything, so there's no secrets. It's things I've learned, and it's fine. You can take what you like from it. DJ Premier, that's what I was thinking of. A guy called DJ Premier. He says, well, it doesn't matter if I use the same samples as somebody else. I'm going to use it in a different way. So in the same way, all the ideas and way I use them, and you can implement it in a different way. So with that, I just wanted to say hello, and I'm going to start with something, because I did say that I was going to start with a Ranger. So I'm going to kind of discuss the Ranger. I'm going to try to do a mixture of two things here. So some of it may be complex. It's not complex, just a bit more advanced, or more to the point. A lot of things that people probably don't even know you could do on this machine, or even on MPCs in general, because I think, and I might be wrong, a lot of people use MPCs just kind of, you only skim the surface of what the MPC technology does. We get in a Force Key 61. Do you know what? I don't know, but I genuinely believe there is going to be a Force Key 61. The reason why I say that, and oh yeah, hi Snow Barnes, good question. Hi Rocky Shipley as well, and Xander G. The reason why Snow Barnes, I'd say there would be a Force Key 61 is because this is the superior version of the operating system out for the MPC. And I'm not saying that in a kind of, well, I like this machine better and blah, blah, blah. I'm saying this is far superior in comparison to what the MPC runs like. And you can see they've fixed all of the errors or all the little things. If you've got an MPC, have a look at the MPC. For example, let me just flip me over from my mug into the what's its name. For example, if I just quickly, let me double tap. Oh, show you a little tip. If you ever want to create a clip, you can just double tap and that'll create a quick clip quickly as well. Easy Paul O'Brien, shout out. Right. So let me go into this clip. If you look at the way this is in comparison to how it is on an MPC, you can see this is way superior. Even if you get rid of your Ranger, right? You've got the grid, you've got here, you can go into the grid section here, it's separate. You've got the sections here which are similar but not the same, because they do a little bit more functionality, because you've got a thing here called select, which you don't have on an MPC. There isn't even a way you can do this on an MPC, because you can select individual notes. You can select a collective of individual notes. And I don't mean off of this square thing. You can actually do it using the pads. So that's not something, as far as I'm aware, you can do on an MPC. So, like I said I was going to talk about the arranger initially. So let me talk about the arranger. I think the best way I'm going to go at this arranger is I'm just going to make something up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, and this is going to be quite long, I feel. And well, you tell me. I'll keep going, right? I'll keep going. If people are here, I'll keep going. I'll keep showing. If anybody wants to ask a question, right, and I haven't got it on here that I'm doing, please ask it. Even more so if you ask it as a super chat. I'm just going to isolate all my things to that. So you're getting a one-to-one just for the respect of the super chats, super thanks. Anything that helps me be able to do this more, I appreciate. So let me get to the arranger. And like I said, I think the best way I'm going to approach this is by creating something, creating an arrangement track, I'll try a quick clip track and then arrangement. Now, another thing I want to discuss is I'm not going to go fast on this. I'm going to take this slow. There is obviously I could go fast and do things quickly, but I don't think there's a need to. It's more important that you understand how certain things work, and always remember, make sure you're in the latest operating system, which is 3.31. It's 3.13. That's the latest official one. Yeah. Anything earlier than that, it's not. Any beta testers on here? Well, you know, I can't show you any of that, so there's nothing you're gonna. Anyway, never mind about that. I'm waffling. So I'm gonna do this the quickest way I can think of by using an expansion. I like hip hop. Oh no, let me explain something. I always say you should always put it to screen. Let me talk about knobs quickly, just in case you don't know about knobs. The knobs are what they are now called, the Q links. Here, easy plunderclat. So the knobs are different ways of changing these Q links here. The reason why I say the screen is always context based. What is the fastest way would you do a song fade out in Arranger? The fastest way would just be to just fade the master down. So like do an automation into the master so it just fades down to 0 at the end of the song. Me personally, I don't think your song should fade out. I think, and this is composition way, the reason why I would say don't have fade outs is just because of the way radio and stuff works, or in general radios and DJs, right? The reason why you want to have songs finishing and being finite is they're easier for radio. If there's adverts or whatever, the DJ has less likeliness to chat over the end of your record and probably will play it to the end. Secondly, it's completist because it's finished, so that kind of helps when somebody's mixing. If you're doing dance or anything like that, and they're mixing out a record, you just drum out, or any other style. It's just like it's a complete. Is my version, because fade outs can be all funny as well. They can bring in noise and they're just not necessary. It's like saying, well, I don't really know how this song ends. If you look at a lot of old tunes, you notice that the tunes have been radio edited cut because that was when they used to employ mix engineers and radio engineers. Much appreciated, Paul. Just because you're a fantastic person. Sláinte. I don't know if your roots are well, they are Gaelic. because it's O'Brien, but Sláinte. So Sláinte. Right. Yeah. And it's better just to be finite on tunes. It just helps on both sides of it if you're mixing or whatever. And like I said, mix engineers back in the day, that's why 70s tunes or older tunes used to have fades, because it was another person's job. And what they do is they play on, because sometimes they had to play on in real time. And you've noticed on some records, you'll hear the tune kind of going off and a little something else playing, and it's because they had to cut the record short, because the record label came back and said, no, that needs to be 3:15. And they're like, what? 3:15? But we made it for me. And it's like, yeah, but the advertisers are going to come in at this and blah, blah, blah. And it stops people talking over records. Hence the reason why I'd said that. But to answer your question, Rocky Shipley, yeah, just automate a fader in. So all you need to do is automate that. If the question is how do I automate that, I'll show you that. Just remind me, stay tuned, because I'm going to do an arrangement now. So like I said, getting back to that, the knobs, blah, blah, blah. The best knob one you want on is screen, because screen is always contextual. The second best, I would say, would be if you're playing something live, you could change to Midi, and then you've got all sustain pedals and you've got the whole lot. So if you were using this and you're not using anything else, you've got you've basically got what you would have if this was a normal keyboard. The next thing to that, track effects is good as well, but you can mess around with that. Second thing as well, but I would say second to screen would probably be track, because that'll show you a whole load of stuff. But then again, there's a lot of stuff you can access to screen. Project 1 and 2 are good if you're going to use unique special things. You're going to create your own kind of special custom like effects, and this knob does something while that knob does something special on another page or whatever. Volume and pan and whatever, I don't even care. Those, all of those, I've got no idea. Well, I know why they did them, but it don't matter. There's about 9 million ways you can do that stuff up there. So I would leave that. Easy golden hour. Nice one. Yeah, so that's what it is. I'll just quickly read something, because it was interesting. They used to have records that were single drum leads that lasted for ages. They used them between disco tracks. All right. Okay, nice one. Well, I learned something new there. All right. And a little bit randomness. They used to have to create drum loops. They have to get the tapes and run the tapes around. When hip hop came around, they had to, because they were making loops, they actually used to run it around the whole studio on the door on a reel-to-reel. It's crazy to think that used to happen. Crazy, but that's how EPMD did it. They ran it around a load of chairs and everything, so it was long enough for them to rap over. I can't imagine if somebody tripped over that would be it. A little pencil wouldn't do the job. You'd be done for. Right. So they're all absolutely spot on. Oh, cheers, man. Golden Hour Audio. Peace, stick around. I was wondering if you know a way of outputting Akai kits to multiple channels in Ableton, so I have them independent. Yeah. There's like I say, there's about 90 billion ways you can do the same thing on there. Easiest way is you just create stems and you just do that, and then just export them as stems, and then there'll be stems on a drum. Was it on multiple? Let me just double check. Output kits. So yeah, on multiple channels. Outputting kits. I'm assuming you mean like you've made a song and then you're doing it on output channels, so you just create stems. That's what I would do. Doing that, that's the easiest way. And then you could and then after those stems, what you could do is import them into Ableton. Alternatively, you can just save it as an Ableton track thing, and then just open it up in Ableton, so you don't even have to export. You're just literally saving the project with the long tracks as an Ableton thing, and they come up on their own channels. So that's all you'd have to do. You could do it in real time. Like I say, there's loads of different ways of doing it, but the easiest way, I suppose, would just be to save it. So do what you're doing. Do it as a full track, and then take that back. Let me rewind a bit. So you would want you wouldn't want to save them as yeah, you would save drum kits. Do you know what? If you saved Akai kits, right, and then you open them in Ableton, they'll open as the drum thing in Ableton. I can't even remember what it's called in my mind, but they'll just open as normal Ableton drums in samplers. So funny enough, I've got Ableton attached to this because I'm going to make Ableton pretend to be external synths and show you how you work with external synths. So yeah, that was that question. I am going to get to this and doing this arranger. I'll just quickly go down a few more questions. Easy Abakan, hi everyone. Right, I wish Akai come out with flat and external MIDI to, well, there'd be no way of doing that. That's kind of impossible. You can't do that on any machine. It's not a thing you could do. The only way you can flatten something is internally, i.e. if you flatten something, it's going to be inside the computer. So, for example, if you had an old synth, right, there's no way, MIDI isn't, this is what people need to understand. MIDI is not sound. There's no sound. MIDI is just this, literally somebody pressing and saying to the computer, when this note's being pressed, this is what happens. So there's no way ever that you are able to flatten MIDI to audio. What you can do is record the audio in. Now it wouldn't matter if you used, it wouldn't matter what you used, you won't be able to do that. Even if you had a computer, you would still have to have the audio signal recorded in. So it wouldn't matter. I've got a mate whose studio I set up and he had a whole heap of MIDI stuff, and then we channeled it all through so that he's got it in Cubase, and it comes out of like 8 separate channels on his mixer back into Cubase, but it still has to go back into Cubase. So no matter what he does, he has to record in real time. So that would never be feasible. The only thing slightly different is if you had a USB audio MIDI. So if it was a USB connection and the audio was sent down USB into that, then you're still having audio, and then how that would transfer it would make no sense to program it that way. You still want to be in real time. All right. I like my kicks to be mono for techno. All kicks should always be mono for regardless. It's a kick. It's mono. It's always going to be mono. So it's like a voice. Your voice, you only have one mouth. You don't have a stereo mouth, so it's always mono. How do I make kicks in mono? They're already mono. What you're probably saying is, well, you look at it's already mono. It's already mono, like you do. A kick will always be mono. If the effect on the kick is stereo, then if you're asking that, then I'll tell you how that is. Right. So let me find a stereo effect, because you've just asked a question, Plunderquat, and I'll go with this one. Right. So let me load up. I'm gonna go to this anyway. I'll tell you what I like, these pad ties, man. That Marco Polo, man, is good. So I'm gonna go one of these pad ties. Let me find one what I quite like. In fact, because I'll go right down somewhere where normally I don't go, because they're so good. Let me go to this one. I like that. That's different. I've not used that one before, so we'll go on there. Right. Now, I'm going to listen to that again. In fact, let me just quickly launch notes and then edit pad, right? So launch note, just in case you were here for last week, launch note pressed at the same time together. You've got pads on top. You've got all your note stuff and information on the bottom when them two are pressed together. There's a third thing that you can do, which is amazing, is notes, launch notes and knobs. And what happens there is, you now have this thing here, and what this thing here is pad grid. So you can actually just assign effects to this. Keep me in mind for that, because what you can do is, you could say, instead of using these knobs, you can use these. So you could say, right, when I press this is going to echo drum pad 1, but it's going to also make something happen on track 2 and it's going to do something on track 3 and 4, and then on this one it's going to make it all stop or rewind or whatever. On this one it's going to do something else. So instead of twisting knobs, you've got them as presses. So keep that in mind. That's quite dope. But anyway, let's go back to, and that's launch pad, launch note, and knobs all at the same time. So let's go back to launch a note. Back to your question up there, before it goes, yeah, plunder cat. So, like, let me find something stereo. I ain't got, right. That's stereo. Just for the sake of argument, right, I'm going to go shift mixer, right, is sub mixer for any drum programs. So keep that in mind. For drum programs, you can go into a mixer inside the mixer, which is excellent way of looking at stuff. So shift mixer gets you into the sub mixer on drum programs. And let's say, just for the sake of showing, let me find something. Right. I'll change it back in a minute, but let's just pan this all the way to the left. So you lot can hear this. You can hear, of course, you can hear this because you can hear my voice in it. So you can hear, if you've got headphones on or you've got speakers on, you hear this. This is coming out of. I've got my headphones on the wrong way around. Right. And I'm seeing more people on, so I'll just say a quick hello. Well, wait a minute, I've pressed the wrong thing there. Easy! Yeah, go here, picture. Hello, everyone. Right. Yeah, like, let me, where was it? Yeah. So this is coming out mostly left. If I wanted this sample, and I'm just going to copy this sample across, just because, you know what, I'll sample it, I'll copy it somewhere out of the way by pressing copy and pad. So it's out of the way. So I've got that. I'm going to fix this sample back to normal because, do you know what? Because I like it normal. So I'll go back to note. I can just use my data dial. Data dial's your friend. I love using the data dial the most because it can just do so many different things. So many different things, right? So, right, I've got this thing and it's all coming out of the left. Well, most of it's coming out of the left. And I wanted it mono. Say I had a sample or like a kick, but kick should be, but it was an effect and I wanted that. Then what I can do is I can press this. So I'll go edit, make sure I'm on this and it's on here. And because I've pressed edit pad, this is already lit up in the sample edit. So it's already there. And that's a quick way of choosing things that you want to sample, not sample, what you want to edit, just in there. And then all we have to do is go to processes. And then I've got functions and I've got all these different types of processes here. And I want to make a stereo signal into mono. So it's this one, stereo mono, blam. And then I can do either just take it and make it both lefts. I can make it both rights, or I can combine both left and right and make them neutral in the mono. So I'll make them neutral mono, and it's just basically it's the same thing. So now that's the middle, as opposed to, do you know what? As opposed to what it was before. But as you can see, that's slightly different because I had monoed it, yeah. And that's a quick way of doing that. So I've deleted that part. Do you know what? Because I always like to keep stuff clean, I'll go to that and purge unused samples, and I've cleared up any mess that I made. All right. So there's an audio one here. Oh yeah, that's audio track, of course. Oh man, I bet it's not sound. Right. So that answered your question. Let me go quickly back up a bit more. Oh, good Lord, there's a lot now. There's a lot more chat, man. Again, O'Brien, Paul, much appreciated for that super chat. Like I said, he asked the question, and I'm your answer guy. Let me just quickly go up again. Say, cheers, Force. I love the Force. I overthink everything I'm doing on it for some reason. Yeah, don't overthink. Keep it simple. Depending on who you're making music for, i.e., if you're making it for yourself, you can be as complex as you like, innit? It's only you who's listening to it. If you're making it for other people, always remember they don't care how you made it. They only care if they like it or not. So always remember that. So you don't have to have, that's why I say you don't have to have 90,000 keyboards. You're not having 90,000 keyboards for somebody to listen to on the radio. They don't care. You could have a spoon and a plate and be tapping that. And if it sounds good, then they'll go, oh, he's got the newest spoon plate. They're not going to care. They're going to go, oh, I'm feeling that. Oh, I'm not feeling that. Now, if you personally are like, oh, well, I like tapping spoons on plates and that lot, then you might say, well, do you know what? I wouldn't mind having a really nice fancy plate from the 1970s and it's got all dust on it so it sounds crusty. Then that's cool. So anyway, I'm off again. Right. So say like the Bomb Squad Productions, multiple overdubs of horns, speech samples. Can this be done on one clip? Would you use and where would that be? You use a looper. Right. Paul, if I understand what you're saying, oh, well, yeah, you can have, there's multiple ways. What you could do, let's do one. If you wanted to do a multiple thing, I showed this, I think, last week, but I only showed how I use a looper, but let's do it in real time. So, I've got what's its name? I've got Pad Thai on here. And me, I like quantize. I'm a big fan of two things: presets and quantize. Why? Because I can always make it loose after. Explode tracks. I want to talk about explode tracks actually. Jersey Boy Beats. And exploding tracks is pretty relatively easy to do on here as well. So I don't know if I did. I don't even know if you need to. There's so many easy ways of doing it. But let's get back to you asked, Paul. So I'm going to just quickly create a beat here. Right. So got that, and now do me hi-hats in as well. Right. What else can we have in? Oh, let me show you another trick as well. Oh, I can talk while this is playing. You don't always have to reach over to here to stop recording. And let me show you something as well. I'm going to show this. Right. If you don't have this on a loop length, as I was saying before, don't have it on a loop length, i.e. this. Let me go here, settings. If you switch that off, right, and you don't have fixed length, right, you can make your own length and you don't have to reach to here. You can just do it by taking this off. So for example, I'm going to make a 1 bar loop here. 2, 3, 4. That's it. By taking that off, I've done it to that. I can go into there and I've got it. 1 bar loop. So always remember, there's about 9 different ways you can do things, and that's easy. And what's good about using this to use for dubs and overdubs and anything is you can always have the metronome on and you can have the click playing. So if you want to hear something in context, you're not having to stop and start, or you're not having to shift and add the metronome in because the metronome's on. And then if you get an idea, you can just record in. So like now, I'll play this, but it's not recording because it's not green. I mean, it's not red. So I could test stuff out while it's still in record mode. So like that, maybe that. I'll have that. Oh, what did I do? Oh yeah, that's it. Off. I like off beat. Right. We'll have that. So we got our groove. Yo. So now I've got that as a thing, so I can just go to looper and I'll go to resample. I've got these all up to that, so I've got all of these. Sorry, I'll just stop that second. I've got all the 32 channels all the way up. So it's just being done. let me just, oh, right. Let me quickly do this and then I'll read through the questions because they're really coming in now. Super chat me. And then I can see them because there's a lot of questions coming in now. They're really flying in. So I think, yeah, super chat and it shows up as a thing, and then I can see them a little easier. Right. So resample, and then like I'll go to clip because this is my thing. And if I ever want to know what I'm on, I just press select and it shows me. It shows you both places. This lights up because this was the last pad that I pressed on the key on the drum pad, and this is the clip of the clip that I'm playing. It's 2 bar length, so I only need to go 2 bar length. So let me go back to looper. This menu thing is going to change. I can't say out, but it's going to get a lot better. That's all I can say because I don't want to break any NDAs, but believe me, this is going to be even twice as easy to do. But you just go to looper, then I'll make that 2 bar length. So I've got it 2 bar length. I already put it into play mode, and then I'll just go like that, and I can go 1. So it's going to do 2 bars. So I've got that there, and then I'll go to export, and I'll export it to here. So I'll export it to there, and export that clip. And now I can turn this off, and I've got this clip. Let me clear. Don't forget to clear. Whenever you finish, don't forget to clear, because if you don't, this is what's going to happen. You've got 2 things on at the same time. You've got the thing that you did because you can overlay. So if I wanted to, I could say, right, I've got my loop there, 1 loop. So I'll stop that loop. I'll stop that loop from playing. I'll play this. And then I could add to that. I could put this back into overdub so that I'm into overdub mode. So this is overdub mode now. So I can add to this. Let me see. So that's just added there. So now I've just done that. So I could keep adding up. I can and turn off overdub whenever I'm wanting to check some out. And the thing about this is I could export that now. So I've exported that sample, what I did, but I want to add to it. So I could go back to here. And this is all on looper. So let me go. So I'll add that. And I can add it in real time. So now I've got that. I can go export, add that into the 4th, and then I can clear it. And now I've got all of those as a loop from that beat. So I've got these as stems. But now oh, much respect, Will Extra. He gets the extra flex. Now Nexter, my freestyles are really weak. I haven't freestyle for ages. But like, so now, look, I've got all of them things off of that 1 loop with a little sample and this. Do you know what I mean? But we can go even further next level because I could slice that up and then I've got that as little chops. So I've made my own chops out of the own beat that I've made. Shall we do that? Yeah. And then we're going to go back to the top and answer some more questions. So, because this is on the track here, the only thing I wish it had was if you could name them there, but it's not, don't have to lose sleep over it. So this is how I can select them because I've got this audio track here. That's why it's always good to not necessarily load into the pool. Sometimes it's a good idea to just load into here because you can select them, look. So I know that's that, and then I could name that and I'll call it the do because press the wrong one, press the keyboard one. Sorry, let me cancel. It's because I'm leaning over my keyboard here. I have to kind of lean over to get to it. Right, there you go. So let's just call it do, whatever. Do chop. Why not? So you just seen me make that up there. And then I'll go to there, chop. And then I'll do lazy chop. So I'm going to lazy chop this by playing it in real time. So And remember, you can keep your fingers clear of something by tapping anywhere else on the thing. So you'll stop yourself messing up. Instead of having to touch it there, just tap the rhythm, and you can tap anywhere. And it's great if you've got a load of intricate chops and you're like, oh, I don't want to mess it up and hit somewhere else. So I've got, and then, oh right, so that's not needed. So I could get rid of that. And so that's it. So now I've got that as a little chop thing. I can convert that to slices by converting it. And then again, to get into that, shift clip. Shift clip is edit, as I spoke to you. I've told you about shift clip. And then I could go, all right, that's done, but I want to change it down in the key. Do you know what I mean? And you could go to town on it, change the picture, the whole thing. And if I was clever about it, I know this beat here is whatever, so I could do that as 12, and that's an semitone down. You know what I mean? I don't know, you could just go crazy, but it's that simple. It's that simple. Silly bang. Right. So, hopefully that made sense to you, Paul. Let me go up a bit and quickly look at some more questions up here. Wow, the world of people coming on. Like I said, shout out to Will Extra. Much respect. I'm going to get to your question if you've got one. Oh, you have? Right, sorry. So let me just quickly go back because I went a bit deep. Well, I didn't go that deep, but there you go. Select the bomb squad. Yeah, I answered Paul's question. Right. Shout out Tube Tape. It's always nice for you to come on board. Original Synth. Hey, easy. Welcome to the club. Hey all. Hey all. Those blue pads are like performance pad mode only. Yeah. I think so. You can make them all. You can make them into anything. The pad grids can be absolutely anything. So you could actually just do them. You can make them to effects things. You can make them do particular stuff. You can make them switch things on, switch things off. Whatever can be learned, you can make them pads. And then, so you've got live performance there and that. There's so many. The thing about this is a production machine tool, but you can make it, use it like an instrument. It's so unique. There isn't anything like this, right? I'm thinking of buying one of these whilst they are like EDM bounce techno. Right, Steve Griffiths saying, I'm thinking of buying one of these whilst they are like EDM bounce, techno, etc. I've always associated PC. Right, this is one thing I want to kind of get clear. And Steve Griffiths brings up something. So I'm going to get back to that tune, but I'm going to just show something, right? You can make, right, music machines, they're exactly that, they're music machines. Especially with a sampler. A sampler can make any sound that exists because all it's doing is replicating a sound. So never think, oh, well, this machine, you can only do drums on it or whatever. Funny enough, the initial sounds in this machine were made for, they were more electronic-y, and it was more dancey. The sounds what initially come with it, most of them lean towards techno, EDM, and dance and that lot. And I'll show you. I'll do a quick dance track in a second because this machine, it is kind of the dance machine. It's almost too easy to make any kind of EDM and dance music. It just is. If there's anything that this machine does better than anything else, not better, but easier than anything else, is any 4/4 EDM or dance music. It's just like, it's kind of, the sounds are there for that. Right, but I want to show something. So I'm going to get rid of this sample thing that I was going to do. We'll get back to arrangement in a second, but I just want to show something. I don't know if you've seen any of my earlier vids, and this was early back in the day. I have this policy where I'm from a hip-hop background. I've done dance as well. And I've had a few releases out. They've done all right-ish, give or take, back in the day. But I've always believed that and it sounds a bit crazy, but if you can do heavy metal or rock on an electronic instrument, you can do anything. Or jazz. I always say jazz. If you can do jazz, and for me, I always think of trying to do jazz tracks, because if I can kind of do jazz, you can do most. Jazz people tend to be able to do most types of genres. That's why I try to learn how jazz chords work and the structures, because they seem to have the thing where they can do, yeah, well, we can just do death metal. It's not a thing for us. Where like a lot of other genres, people can do that, but when they try to do jazz, it's like, oh, it's complicated because there's little nuances. I'm not getting into weeds, but here getting back to that point, what Steve Griffiths raised, I'm going to load something up now, so I'm going to quickly go across to my, going to go to my folder and get rid of future bass, because again, I have to lean over and I can't remember. I think it's called Rocky Road. It's called Rock something, so I'll just put RO and find it. Right, RO. Oh, that's finding anything with RO in it. Let me get a bit more defined. ROC. I'm sure it's called Rocky Road. There it is, Rocky Road. Right. So that's what I made up. And I was like curious. It's all chops, all drum programs. I think I had an organ, and it's like things what you do. Do you know what I mean? You start something, you say, I'll get round to finishing it, and then you don't, kind of thing. And it's one of them. So like, this is as an example. So, oh wait a minute. Yeah. So, and I mean, I could really have gone into it. I haven't really done it so much yet. But let's see what we can do. So, do you know what I mean? So you can just chop stuff up and you can do it yourself. So even if you can't play the guitar, you can do little things. You can make of whatever you like of this machine. So don't think of one machine as one element, because you can make all you like over it. And that was an example of that. But to answer your question a little bit more refined, it's absolutely, yeah, a machine for EDM. The Force is definitely that, because of the kits what come with it. And it's just easier to program. You can step program. So if you can't play things in rhythm, you can step program and just load of things like note config, what I wanted to talk about. But let's talk about Arranger, because we did say go Arranger. So, I'm going to keep to Arranger, and we're going to do it. We're fine. You think the next track, right? You can explode. There's two ways you can explode. The easiest way is you just choose, like, if I get a kit here, I get that kit, and then I just copy that kit over. So say, just for the sake of point, I'm copying that over to there, and copy that to there, right? And then I've got, oh, well, wait a sec. Oh, press delete. Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Let me undo that, get it back. Right. So let's copy this track there, this track here. So now I've got these three drum kits here. So if I play them all together, they'd play. So there's a couple of ways I could do it. I can go into the clips and take away the sounds that I don't want in that track, and then it'll only play the sounds that I do. So I'll copy the track 3 times over, get rid of the stuff in the clips. Alternatively, I can get rid of the stuff in the clips and use MIDI tracks to send the signals. So a split, yeah, it would help. It would help, but I mean, you're not going to lose sleep over copying it 3 times. And the advantage of copying it 3 times is each one's an individual thing. So even though they're using the same non-destructive sample like that, you can change the pitch of that sample, you can change the length of that sample, you can change loads of things on that sample in itself. So it means you've now got 3 different kits playing the same rhythm but taking up the same memory. So that's actually better than Explode if you think about it, because you've got a lot more flexibility, and that's the thing about this machine. You've got flexibility. So let's go back and we'll go back to arrangement or something. Well, we'll try to, like I said, I'm trying to work my way down. Will, I'm getting to Will's question. Or did I ask Will's question? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was. How do you copy audio from one track to another in the arranger? Oh, right. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. What shall I do that with? I'll do that with something that I think I've got a bit of an arrangement on. I'll do that with a song. What's that? Sistema. Oh, that was some house thing. Let me get something before. All right then. Let's go to load. So empty program. We'll go to load. All right. I'll tell you what. That's the first time ever that I've had a crash. And I've never had a crash. I can honestly say that. I'm not losing sleep about it. I'll just shut it down and start up again. But that's interesting. That's the first time ever I've actually had a crash. And that's an official one. So I don't know. That'll be interesting to report that. This is a thing about something, a machine what can do a lot of stuff though. It could have been some quick function that I've done and I can't even say. But I mean, like I said, I'm not losing sleep over it. It isn't like it crashed while I was using it, and there was something where I probably pressed 3 buttons at the same time that made it crash. So, yeah, whatever. So let's, what did I say? Did I say I was going to use that Sistema? Oh, right, no, I know what I was going to do. So let me go here. I was going to go, and I was going to go to projects, and then I was going to go to some oh no, I'm trying to find some. Right, okay. I'll go into these, right. So, this is a tune that I'm working on. You have to mind the singing because it ain't finished or whatever, but it's a guide track. But in the arranger, it's exactly the same. I'm guessing, how do you copy audio from one track to another? Right. Let's say you're not copying the whole track. You just want to copy a piece. And this is for William Extra, which again, like I said, appreciate. So I'm going to really dedicate this hard chord to you because that was good for that. I appreciate this super chat. Let's see. So I'm going to go across to some of my vocals here. Let's go into the arranger clip, arranger, and let's forward into this track. So another thing, why I was saying about screen, look, because I'm in screen now on this that thing, I've got the playhead so I can go fast forward or rewind. And do you know what's great? It does it in fast time. So I can go here. So I'll go shift play plays from that point. So play plays from the beginning, but shift play plays from that point. So keep that in mind. And then I can fast forward and go, yeah. All alone, I know. So I've got my. There is nothing harder than I'll make it So I'm gonna go. I'll go to that part of that song. Wherever, I don't know where the hell the thing is. So let's go here to this section here. Oh, I'll show you another trick. So instead, where this is going loop start and loop end. But let's say I'm like, man, I don't want to. I'm all the way up here, loop start, loop end, and I'm like, well, how many bars do I want it to be? Because I just want to create a little cycle. So let me say I want to create this as a little cycle here, right? And I'm like 133. How many bars do I need that to be? Oh, that's up there. What I can do is I can go to grid. And what that's going to do is going to change me. So again, let me select something. So I'm going to select, let me go across to, where is it? One of these here. So I'm going to select this part and oh, yeah, interesting. That's interesting. Let me just double check that. I'll fix that later. Am I on the wrong knobs? All right, let me just check that. Let me come out of that and go back in. Right, 1 and 8. Am I on the right channel? That's strange. Oh, I know why. Stupid man. Right, so like I says, back on here, press loop. My bad, I forgot to press loop. So I've got my bar start and bar end here. But if I go into grid, it shows it as a length. So look at that length. It's saying that it's the loop length is 109, but I just want it to be 4, so I can use this to get the loops, and that's a lot easier than having to know where the numbers are. All I have to know is where I want the bar to start, and then I could change this loop length down. I could get into it. I could go quicker by double tapping into there and then double tapping there and saying how where. But it's like, then again, I'm into that kind of loop end. So instead of getting all fancy, I can just look at this length and know how long I want it to be. So I want it to be 4 loop lengths, and now. Right, so let's get back to what you wanted to know, Will. So, like, I'm going to zoom in here by using the zooms, and I've got some audio somewhere here. So let me go solo. I'll play. It's not that. Easy there. As I can. Right. For sure. Nothing harder. So it's down here. So I'm going to use a vertical to go up. So I've got this little piece here. Right. Let's say here. What I would do, there's a couple of ways you could do this. I could open here, and then I could get a piece from here by selecting a point there, and then I can copy it and paste it into there. That's one way. You can paste it out and play it back in, which is, I think, is quite a cool way. Or alternatively, I could copy this. Oh, no, let me show you the mad easiest way, because like I said, there's multiple ways. I personally like this way. I'm going to show you the way I like, actually. What I would do, say if I had this piece here, and I'm like, right, I want this piece here on, let me see, on the go vertical again. I want this piece here on this next track here, just this piece, right? And I want it, I don't know, there. I want it, well, I like even numbers, so I want it, no, close that. Oh, I hate the fact that I have to lean over, but let's say I want it there. I want it there, right? This piece, and I want that there. I can do this. I could cut that from here. So I've took it away from there. And then all I have to do is go to this next track, the track that I want it to be on. And then I go shift and paste. And it's now pasted into that other track. That's one way. The other alternative to that is to go into grid, and where you have a little bit more detail. So I could go in there, and then I could change the loop length and whatever. It's relatively same, but I like this one because it's larger. I can see, so like I can really zoom in on this. So when you go into grid, you can get really into the weeds of editing on your arranger. So that's how you can copy. It's pretty straightforward, actually. Yeah. So there's another way if you wanted to create a composition of a load of elements and you wanted to flatten them out, you could copy that stuff. Because I remember I copied it, so it still exists. I could go into back to the matrix, go into clip. No, go into the matrix. What am I on about? I could go to the matrix, and then I could create a. For the sake of it, I'm going to just create a clip there. So I've created a clip there. I can go into that clip, and then what I could do is I could go to the grid and I could do a paste again. So it's going to paste that information into there. And now I've got that information in this clip here, just here. That there is nothing hard. And then I could just go to town working on that and then play that back in. So, or if I had a load of things and I chopped up and I'd done little overdubs and everything, copy all that stuff back into one clip, and then I can just go here and flatten that. And I'm just flattening that element, as opposed to if I did it in here, it's going to flatten everything in that arrangement. It's going to massive amounts of memory as well, and just wasted empty audio, which I hate. So hopefully that helped you, Will. There, let's keep it moving. Right, is this being done on the drum track? Audio overdub. All right. Well, I guess that was way back. Force quantize live audio in real time would be great. You can do that. That's Rocky Shipley. Like I said, I'm so far ahead now. You're probably hearing this. Rocky Shipley. You can do that easily. You just press ARP, and then you can force quantize stuff. Again, you put it into pads and you force quantize. You couldn't quantize live audio in real time. If you're meaning loops, you can do like a Roland RC2 or 2, because that's just the loop in real time. If you're on about it as a looper, no, because it's not set up to do that. It's like it can do a lot of things, but do you know what I mean? It's not that. That can only do that one job, is the RC. You can't make tracks on the RC. Well, you can, I suppose, but not in the way like you can do this. Okay, that seems like that came from one kit. I'm saying if I'm sampling from YouTube or iTunes sources. Yeah, the same difference. Paul O'Brien. Again, I know this is later down here because hell knows how far down I've got. But appreciate that you've just given me another one. Cheers again for the super chat, Paul. But the same thing would be true. I've got this set up now so that I could actually go onto YouTube. Well, I won't show it, but believe me, you can just send a signal in, and wherever the signal's coming from. So I was just recording inside of here, but all I'd be doing is I'd be just recording in from an in signal. Oh, what is my battery run out? Oh, it's back. Oh, that's all right. It just froze. Okay. Easy got me nodding in the kitchen. Mac and cheese. Oh, nice one. Okay. Nice. Wow, load of questions flooding me out here now. So, do you think Akai will include new update sounds on the Force? Yeah, I think so. That's Rocky Shipley. I think so. I can't say, but I think so. I purchased a defective 60 key 61. I'm glad I returned it. Oh, I already. All right, cool. Right. That's Snow Barnes. New plugins for the MCV cost 500 to install on other PCs, so not all of them I don't think will be free. This is true. That's original synth. Sorry, he was asking the question back on there. On the question of the oh right, I'm down at the bottom now, so great. I'm going to start showing some other stuff now. I've answered all the questions up to this point. Have I? Let me just check. Yo, Tom, always enjoy the Forces different. I hope MIDI control feedback comes. There is MIDI control LED feedback. All right, there is kind of. It's it's on your middle channel, MIDI channels. You just like if I add a MIDI channel here, and then I go into mixer, you can see it. Go to note. You can have the feedback, or if you want to see what's coming in and out, you've got it here. So actually, there's nothing coming in there or sending out. But if I went back to the mixer, and I went and made that come out the force there, then I hope this hasn't gone off. Is this still on? Am I still running live? I hope I'm running live. Let me just quickly check. Oh yeah. All right, nice one. I'm still here. I just wanted to double check. Yeah, so now if I go into the I thingy and I press that, it will show me the signals going out. I don't know if that's what you meant, but yeah, that's what it could do. Turn that off. Right, let's go back again and we'll do something new again and we'll get on with what we were going to do, arrangement. Yep, Tom, I meant LEDs on the actual other MIDI controller. Oh, like, all right. I don't know about that. In my opinion, I think this should be the controller of everything. I don't think this plays nicely when it isn't the main controller. I've noticed there's even a thing where at the moment, and hope they fix it, there's a thing where the MIDI clock, if you set the MIDI clock and then you try to record something, it doesn't like it, it starts skipping about and it just won't let you record stuff. They try to resolve that. This plays nicer when things are running on here. Don't get me wrong, you can put 90,000 keyboards into a hub and it'll see them all, and you can play from a keyboard into here to make another sound play on another instrument, and it'll do that. Because I was even I had a friend round and I got my keyboard and I wanted to mess about on here, and I just set him up on a single channel, so he was playing piano and everything off one channel, and I could play and mess around on here, so I could use this and he could use that. And I realized if I'd had two keyboards, I could have two people on two separate different channels. In fact, just internally, if I was to use the plugins, I could have 8 people on different instruments, and I have this on here and play. So, sorry, 7 people. So I could have 7 people on 7 synthesizers or whatever, MIDI controllers, and have this one, and they'd all be playing the sounds out of this. Or 128 people, because this can have 128 drum pads and key groups, or 128 MIDI, so external, going through here and sending back out. So yeah, you could, but I don't even get it. Me personally, I don't get how somebody wouldn't want to use these pads. I don't get it myself, because you've got loads of control on these, and the thing is, you can do 3 buttons and 2 button presses in ways that you can't do them on another device. Just for proximity alone, you can't do them. But just because it's internal to how this works. Right, so let's go back to it. It's just sliders for each track like a mixer. That's what I miss. But yeah, but I mean, you can do that in it, really. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And I mean, you can do that. And you can just automate them in. I get it for, right, if I was doing, like, say, dub, like my mate does dub, and then I've got a live dub mixer, but that's live audio, so I don't know. For me, I like accuracy. So, I mean, if I were doing this and I went, like, yeah, then I'd come back and I'd automate this, record this in as automation, and then I'd listen back to it and go, oh yeah, that worked perfect. I wanted that to go down on the 3rd bar or something like that, or that 3rd beat thing. So that's me. So then again, if that's true, you could do that on this anyway. I don't know. But horses for courses. So I understand that. Let's get back to this arranger, because I did say I would talk about the arranger. Oh, have I measured death would be free for four? Death will be free for force. Yeah. I did want to. Let me just talk about the fabric stuff, right? I think that fabric stuff is amazing in a standalone. Right. In a standalone, I'll say that. I just watched the thing with the Andertons with that guy from Andertons, and as a comparison, it beats Roland. For the live instruments, it beats Roland, wipes the floor with Roland. It's really competitive. I would say it was probably slightly better than the Korg, but certain things on the Korg were like the strings on the Korg were really good. The strings on the fabric, as they are, they're all right. You can tell they're fakish. You can feel the fakish. The solo stuff is good, but the other ones, the strings are a bit fakish. But the difference is you can crust up them and make them sound real by adding like crusty effects and whatever. And you can do that really easily on the Force or on the keys or whatever, where I know to do that on a Korg is not easy. It's not easy to do that on other workstations. It just isn't. It's faffy. And then if you want to change your mind, it's even faffy again. Where on here you can just go no. Or you could even just, yeah, there's loads of ways round. Is it worth 500 quid? I don't know. Me personally, I would wait and see what's round the corner. I don't think I'd buy into this. I wouldn't buy into the Fabric XL as a Force user unless I was like, if I only were using the Force and I weren't getting sounds from somewhere else, then I don't know. It's compelling. It's compelling, but I'd still want to wait, because if there is a Force keyboard, and I'm not saying there is, but if a Force keyboard shows up, you're gonna be like, oh man, do you know what I mean? Where if I owned MPC, I'd have bought the Force keys. It's a no-brainer. That thing is the best version of all the MPCs. It's definitely a no-brainer. I would just buy it just for the keys and the easy use. People don't really respect the idea of that it's not only the proximity, it's also what they could do in the future. I'm not saying they're gonna do that. I put it this way: if I was at that company or I was Akai, the fact that I've added an embedded keyboard, there's loads of advantages that you could do what make it just like, without question, you've got to get that keyboard. And then if I was business guy, I'd just lock it off. So yeah, truthfully, you could do it. You could implement it so that it's external. But why? Why make it external? Pay the devs. The more the devs get paid, the more work they can do, the better the stuff is. That's what people have to understand. You have to pay for the devs to do the work, because they're not doing it for free. It doesn't make no sense. You have to pay these people, right? You still need a neck like ET for the screen, though. I don't know. No, I'll be honest. I don't understand the tilt screen. I don't know how other people work. The way it's positioned, I'm standing up using it. I stand up when I'm playing the keyboard. I stand up, but the way my monitor's far away from my eyes. I never get any sore stuff like that. I'm not leaning into even when I use iPads, I make sure they're away from my face so that I don't get eye fatigue or tiredness or stuff like that, or lean down. So I never get any of that issues because I'm standing up and this is in front of me. So it's not like I'm over it, because I can see what's on the screen. So the screen's there and the pads are here. So it's kind of like, this is like a piano, and this is like, to me, this is like the sheet, the music sheet. So I can see it. I can just quickly look down. So the only thing I'm having to do is turn my eyes down. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. And then after a while, I'm in my ears with it. So, yeah. So, I don't know. It's or if you mean on the keys, I could see what you mean. Kind of again, it depends on how it depends on how you how you position your keyboards. It is, because all of these things are like this. All of them is like that. And the expense of having a tilt screen on a keyboard like one of them range. Look at an Ranger keyboard, like, I don't know, one of them PAX things that Korg make or something like that. They're about like $3,000. And a lot of that will be the extra bill of materials will be going into having that tilt. So you've got to kind of say, right, do we think some, because the thing what people have to understand, when you're making hardware, right? If you say to hardware, all right, well, that thing would only cost $10, right? It's $10 times 10,000, 20,000. So you've got to factor that in, that cost, which could be a high cost based on the return and the forecast of how long you're going to sell that thing for. So these are like, they all use the same processor. That had to take thought to say, what can we get, what can we like clean out of this processor in here? And they aren't finished. Another thing what it's dawned on me is the amount of milliseconds it takes, and it was only because I was messing around with Memoto that I realized you've got like 5 milliseconds, up to 5 milliseconds is not noticeable in the sound. So, and I think you can do certain instructions, and the certain instructions, I mean, I think at top is like 2.5 milliseconds. So there's certain things what they're probably adding that even with the way that the fabric stuff happens now, that they're probably going to make that so it kind of flips over in real time. And they're probably going to do it on here first, probably, who knows, because this has already got this streaming. So when this comes, then that'll be it. But again, I don't know. I don't sit down. I'm always stood when I'm doing this stuff. Right. Let's get back to doing some arrangement. Like I was saying, I like these pad ties. I'm going to go to a different pad tie because I said I chose pad tie. But for any hip hop folks out there, pad tie is really good. Just even therapy. All right. Oh, I just chose that one. Let's have that. Oh, look what I did. I just loaded it into a... Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Loaded into an audio track. Doesn't matter. Okay. Let's do an arrangement, and I want to talk about one of my most favorite things, this note config. This is an example of what I was talking about at the beginning of this Q&A, of how much it differs than the MPC. The things what they've done on the MCC, this is a superior version of it, because this thing is not like this on the MPC. This does way, way more. And the second thing why I like it is this is built with people who don't really have music theory in mind, who don't really know how music theory works. They just want something to sound decent. And this is brilliant at doing that. So I'm going to add this in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a quick drum beat launch thingy. In fact, let me copy that drum beat. What was that drum beat? So it's got little ticka ticka ticka. Let's see. So a little roll. Oh, right, it's there anyway. So all right, well, we'll try that then. So again, back to knob screen. BPM, right, it doesn't say, but it doesn't really matter. And oh, right, I'll show you another trick. This is another thing what I do like about this. I don't know if this is on the MPC. I know it's similar, but I don't know if this is on it. Is this? This is brilliant. A lot of people probably don't understand why this is so good. You can change the time without even time stretching of how that sample plays, because it shows you how long that time of that sample is. So like even a simple thing by changing the pitch, it's showing you where that would land rhythmically. So this now in G will land like this rhythmically, blah, blah, blah. So you can make something what's 4/4, 3/4. You can make something that's 3/4, 4/4 within the pattern. So anyway, let's get back to what we were on about. Yeah. So it's 84 BPM anyway. I can go there. And always remember this. I think I've showed this, but I need to explain another brilliant thing about this. As long as you hold things, not press on them, just hold them and let go, you can go back to the other screen. This comes really handy when you're in like Arranger. Let's say if I was in Arranger. So look, I'm holding that. I go to Arranger and I want to go fast forward through a tune, but then I want to edit something. I can fast forward through this tune, let go of this, and then I'm back into there. And this is a good way of, if I was playing something and I was like, oh, let me just rewind that back a second, and I don't want to have to do stop and start, I can just go, all right, rewind, and I can just rewind back. Little things like that erase. So anyway, let's create an arrangement. So I'm going to go here, on hold, do my favorite thing of a little swing, because I like me swing. 62 is my favorite. So then that's what we'll do. Right, here we go. Right. Right, that was it. So let's go back to clip and we'll change that to 2 bars. And what we'll do is we'll trim it by pressing trim so it's nice and chopped up. Yo, yeah, yo, yo. Yeah. And just a quick hello. But it's still there. Right. So let's see what else can we have. Yeah, that would be nice. Oh no, do you know what? We'll do one better than that. So, I've got a little drum pattern there. And I go, oh yeah, I like that drum pattern, cool. Because I'm going to, just to make life easier at the moment, I'm keeping everything locked in as they are. If I didn't want, I could just switch that off. But because I just want to keep the timing all nice and neat, I'll go to clip and I'll go into arranger. And then I'm going to add and make a little drum pattern arrangement on the fly. So I've got my little thing already. And this is easy because, and look at this, I'm only doing it on one clip. Kit, so I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to press that and go 2, 3. So I've got my little thing there. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing an arrangement in real time. So I'm going to add my little bits in what I think I like. Right, let's have some music on here now. So I'm just making it something to go along. Let's more. I pressed the wrong thing, but we'll keep going. We've got to groove. Yo. Yo. Grace. so we've got our arrangement, whatever that was, and we could check it because we could go, all right, did that sound all right? I made a load of mistakes. Oh, wait, so what have I done? What have I done wrong there? Anyone? Yes, of course. What did I do? It's playing, because look at the select. So I can press select. It's playing that. It always shows me that it's playing that. And what I want it to play is the arranger. So I could either press the arranger, or because I set up the clip matrix, and then I can fast forward, go into it, see if that's what I'm liking. Right, original synth, the force, don't save. All right, I haven't seen that. You know what? I need to see that Bill and Ted thing. I haven't seen it. Right. So there was some things janky that I didn't like there on this arranger. So, well, let's see, because I just freestyled it. So I can go into grid now, and this is a grid of this arrangement. Oh, I didn't mind that. That seemed all right. Didn't seem too bad. All right. So that roll, I don't mind, but it's too loud. So what I can do is I had to think about this. I'll go back to here, and I'm going to rewind that. And do you know what I could do? I could go into here. So I don't even need to do that. I just tap on the screen. So I'm going to go and fix this area, this loop here. I didn't mind it, but what I think it should be is, I think it should be a little lower. Just that little one. So I'm going to move that and then make it shorter. Now, what I could do, and this is in the arranger, and now because I'm in grid, what I could do is I can actually go and choose this stuff here by opening that and turn the velocity of the thing that I don't like down there. Or if I really wanted to get fancy, I could go into step sequence, and then I just need to find where that is. So it's, what was it? So it's and but here's the thing, I only want that one. I could select that one, or what I could do is hold this and I go to the point of where that is in that loop. So I think it's there because it's on the loop from what I recall. And I can check if that's right by pressing select. Now I'm on select. I can say, here's what's good about select. Again, stuff MPC can't do. At the moment, this is selecting everything that's on this pad, on this path, in this arranger. But I only want these two. So what I can do is I can press this one. That's going to turn everything off except that. And then I press it again, it'll invert it. So now I've just got this. So when you press it first, one, what it does is it takes away whatever you wanted. And then if you press it again, it'll invert it. So you'll keep everything else that you don't want. So that's quite nifty. Now there's something what might be coming in the future will make it even more nifty, which could have something to do with the exploding drums. But again, I can't say, and I don't know until I see it. But again, that's all NDA. So we do what we've got now. So like I said, I've got this on the arranger. So even if I wanted to get rid of that, I could just go like that and go blam, and then, well, no, because I selected it. So it's selected. If I take my finger off select and press that, then I can get rid of it like that. And then I could add it back in or whatever. I'll just undo that. So like I said, there's multiple different ways of attacking this. But now that I've got that selected there, I could say, right, well, I wanted both of these. So this and this, I want just these two. I don't want anything else. So what I do is shift and select and then pick that. So I'm only getting them two, and I can make sure of that because, well, they were the only two I had. But if you look, they're the only two things that are selected. So then I can say, right, well, then what I wanted to do is turn the velocity down on that. So there, and then I can just bring the velocity down on them. There, and I'm not affecting anything else except that. I play that, and I could do all of this in real time. A little lower. Yeah, and maybe I'll say this second one, I'll think I want a bit more lower, quieter. Right. And then there's a little sound there, the little dook somewhere underneath there. And because I'm in the same place, I could go, well, let me find out where that is. Well, what did I knock? I knocked something. There. What was that? There'll be a soft yellow thing somewhere. Is that it? No. Oh no, it's something somewhere. Let me go around here. Can I see it? I don't know. Oh, it's there. Whatever that is. Oh, I could find it there. So, that's what it is. So, which one is it then? So, oh no, it's that one. So it's that one because it's clipping over there. So what I can do is I can just take that away, and there. That's it. There. And there we go. And now I've got that, and I could add a crash. Have I got a crash? No. But if I wanted to, let's say that. So I'll go here, and then I'm going to change this to a crash. Yet another thing which you kind of can do on the thing, but it's not as easy. So let's go. Because I'm still in this same kit. Remember, I'm still in this same kit. What I could do is I could go and I could look for hats, quick search, and then I'm looking for any samples based on that. Because I'm in that same expansion stuff. I can look for a hat and see if there's a crash. Yeah, maybe. All right. Somebody is jacked the site. I wonder how that didn't get through. Can I remove that stuff? How do I do that? Can I block that? Can I remove it? Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong. How do I do that? Can I do that? Right. Right, let me see how, because somebody's just jacked the chat. So can I remove this stuff? Right, remove. Hide user on this channel. Right, I'll remove. And can I time out? And user on this channel. There you go. There we go. Excellent. That's it. So I've got it. Like I say, I'm learning curve. I'm going to go on for another half an hour if people want me to, because I'm showing I feel I'm showing quite a bit of stuff, and people watching. So excellent. Right. Right. Let me get back to where I was. Yeah. So crash. So now I've just gone in here because I've done the quick search, which is that little thing, instead of me having to type hi-hat. And because I'm in the same expansion stuff, it's going to look for any hat. So I want a crash. Is there a crash somewhere? Maybe it needs to be an actual crash. So let me see if there's an actual crash. So clear that, and I'll type the words crash. Oh, right, there is crashes. Right. Yeah, we'll have that. So, because that's already highlighted, I can just press load. So that love chat thing's all disappeared, and hopefully it's all disappeared. I don't know if it has, but I've tried it. So now let me go back, and remember, all of this could be done in real time. Obviously, because I want. And you know what? I've just remembered I put a compressor on this, so I can actually talk over it at the same time. So I'll record a crash in there. But here, what did I do there? See, when I press that, and it says recording clip. What I don't want what I want is shift record. So I'll do that gate, and now I'm in there. But what did I do? So let me undo that. I forgot to do one thing. Put it into overdub mode by turning that off. So if you're ever wondering why you might lose stuff, it's because you've got that on take off MIDI arrays, record arrays if you're adding other stuff, because that stops it from overdubbing. So now let me go back to that. Let me go back to the grid. And then I'm going to move that along so that I've got the crash. So I'll do that to 2 bars so that now I can preview what I'm going to do. So it's going to and then crash. Right. And do you know what? I heard that do a clip. So something that, so there, so, right, so that's in a mute group. That's in a mute group. So we'll go to here by edit pad. We'll go in here and we'll turn it off, the mute group. And I could tell that was a mute group because they won't play at the same time. Okay, so let's go back to the arranger and then we can demo that. That's what we're going to do. So I'll put it into record. Now it's recording arranger. And then I've got that into there. Easy Naughty Hill. Oh, and easy Brian Church. I forgot to say hi. Nice of you to join. So like I said, I've got that crash there. So I'm like, cool, I like that crash. Maybe I still think it's too loud. And as I said, maybe there's load over crashes on there. And I'm like, oh, well, I want to fix that crash. So step sequencer, make sure I'm on the one what I want, which is always going to be the next one on. You can do this in the step sequencer up to, I think, 240. I think it's 245 bars. I think after 245 bars, it doesn't seem to work, but you can go all of these up to 245 bars. And the only difference you need to do is, I did it one time, you change the quantization of the grid to make them so that you can see more, and then you can fix it. I can't remember, something like that. But you can do right up there. I think that goes up to like 56 or something. No, it goes up to, in 16ths, I think that goes to 100. Put it this way, I think that goes past what should be a general song of like 4 minutes or 5 minutes. So I think you can do that with step sequencers there. So I'm putting it to the end of that and go there, and there's my crash. And if I'm unsure, look. So when it comes up, there we go. So you've got where you are in the step sequencer to change stuff. So this crash, I want to just select this crash. I know there's no other crashes there, but I'm just pretending there is. So there, and then all I have to do is turn the volume down. So I'll play that and then change the volume. Now, another thing I should have said, what I could actually have done, because I know the crash is there, let me just say, I was like, oh, well, I want a lower crash. So I don't even have to do that. I could just say, yeah, the velocity there, and then just go, all right, cool. Now I've just got the crash coming in at 43 velocity. Go back to there to the finish. And there we go. Bob's your uncle. Right. So that is an arrangement. Let's go any further. What can we do further than this arrangement? Put some vocals on it quickly. Here's a question. Can you make 80s Italian disco? Yeah, absolutely. Naughty Hill. Super chat me and I'll show you right now. But to answer your question, absolutely, yes. Yes, not a problem. I could show you that in about 5 seconds. But I know I'll get distracted, and I wanted to keep to my commitment of showing you the arranger. So, like I say, now I've got the arranger going, so I can play that, and then I've got my little thing going, and I'm like, yeah, I like that. What else was it in? So let's rewind this tune. Does this start? Is it right? So do you know what? We'll put some vocals into this. So what I'm going to do is add a vocal, a thingy channel, and because I'm all fancy like that. And you know what? Watch, look, this is how dope it is. I'm holding this, yeah, and then I can go double tap, and because I'm still holding this, I could name this. So I'll go with Fox. Do it, and if I let go, aha! That's amazing, amazing. Like IP. Tell me about list mode. Yeah, list mode is dope. It's like tracker, and I wasn't a fan of that kind of stuff, but it's dope because for accuracy, it's like a second version of the step sequencer. This thing here, which is again another one of my favorite things. Oh, good lord, wait a minute. It's another one of my favorite things, but it's like that, the list. And yeah, I'll talk about list in a second, but I want to keep directed to this. If there's something specific you want to know about list, ask me, and then I'll go to that. If you want to know it quick, ask it as a super chat. I think, can you ask a super chat or something like that, and then I could keep it in mind or something like that. I think you can super chat. You can ask questions. I'm sure of it. Anyway, right. What was it about? Yeah. Vocals. So I've just named that. So I've set up my computer so that I can send a signal from here directly into the Akai Force. So what I'm doing is now I'm going to add a little vocal thing. So I'm going to go to the mixer. I don't need to hear myself, so that's on auto. That's going to be on auto. That will record on auto. Oh no, it's on off, which is good because I don't need to hear myself. I'm fine. I'm fine if I don't hear myself. So let's go back and we'll record some. You can see it there. This is an audio track. It's coming in on 1 and 2. Wait a sec. 1, 2. Oh yeah, I need to do an in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go. And there we go. So there's a signal. The reason why you can't see, you can see the outsides of it is because I've got the actual monitor off because I don't need to hear it. I don't want to hear myself back. I'm fine with it. I'm just going to make this up as I go along, and we'll have an intro. So we'll do that shift, and we're ready to record. So let's let me get back to the page so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm starting in the year 2022, 14th of July. It was a mission for the funkness to be funkified. Yo, and that's why we have to go. Yo, that's why we have to flow now. Right, so in my idea for the tune should have come in there. So I want to edit that. I like that crash. I remember that. Keep it on. Let me just check. Did the vocals sound all right? Let's check. In the year 20... Blimey, they were loud. Right. But they'll do it. It's not like I'm doing it for real. So first of all, it's loud. So what we can do anyway, hold in effects on the mixer. If you hold, you get a channel strip. Brilliant. The thing I like, and I've said it and I say it again and again, always use presets. Presets are a jumping off point, and then you can go from there. So this is loud anyway, so I can turn it down because I know it was loud, so I'll turn it down, but it's nice and compressed. So in the year, right, 2022, so 14th of July, it was a mission for the funkness to be funkified. Okay, so let's do a little bit of work on them vocals. So what do we want to do then? Let's go solo. And you know what? Let's do a cycle. So let's go back to here, and I'll create a loop, and I'll go into clip mode again because I like not clip. I'll go into there, and I'll move this to here, and then just say I don't know there. That's the cycle. 14th of July. Right. It was a mission. I've got a solo for the funkness. Yeah, to force the funk. 14th of July. Force the funk. So it was a mission. What I want to do is I'm going to get rid of some of that background sound. It was a mission. So I'm going to go to the gate for the funkness and turn the gate on to 14th of July. It was a mission for the funkness to 14th of July. Oh my gosh, you know what? I've just realised I've got the headphones on and I've still had the music up. I just heard it bleeding through there. I don't know if you noticed, but you could hear it. 14th of July. So using the gate, I've just got rid of some of the background noise, but I didn't even really notice. So without this channel strip on, 14th of July. It all mashed out sound as it should have been because I didn't check it properly. 14th of July. Right. It was a mission for the funkness to 14th of July. Let's take some of the bass off of that. EQ. So for the funkness to 14th of July. So the frequency. It was a mission for the funkness to 14th of July. Alright, cool. And then, you know, for lazy bonesness, what we'll use is the master. And in fact, I'll go back to there. And if we slide across, not that hard, but just a little bit, we've got the master returns. So what we'll do is I'll use, I don't know, I'm quite basic on these. So let's try a vintage one. So we've got a vintage reverb and we'll just have a nice dub echo. So you go 14th of July, 14th of July, 14th of July. Let's where's the follow me, that one. That'll go 14th of July, 14th of July. And then, because it's a proper mixer, it's not like a proper mixer, it's a full on proper mixer. We'll go back out by pressing master again to return to there. We'll go to the sends, and I'm going to send a bit of reverb to 14th of July. It was a mission for the funkness to 14th of July. It was a mission for the funkness to yeah, I'll redo that vocal. All right then. Dag nabbit. I'll redo the vocal then. Right. So I'll turn down that signal. So let's go back. Well, I'll just select it and just delete it. So, and you know what? I can select that and delete that. Or what I can do, I go here. Where am I? Sorry, go back to here. And then all I have to do, while I'm in the matrix, if I scroll back up, am I up at the top? Oh yeah, I'm not in launch. So I can press delete and then press that and then I can clear. So I'll just clear the information. And just to be nice and right, I'll go to projects and purge unused samples. So that clears everything that I haven't used. So I'm back to that. And because Digital Complexity told me I should do it again, I'll do it again, dag nabbit. Force don't send MIDI on endless control. Yeah, endless decoders. I wish I understood what you meant there. Original synth. Endless controllers will probably not work on a PC. I wish I knew, because I don't have things sending. I don't know what effect that would have. Oh, right. You're speaking to Digital Complexity. Sorry. I'll keep out of the way. Right. I'll record it again for Digital Complexity. So let me just turn down the volume a bit. So let me check the signal. Where are we? No. Go back to record. 1 2 1 2. All right, it didn't seem that bad, but let's see. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh, do you know what? Let me just do it as a feed there. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's the year 20 whatever. Yo, yo, yo. It's the year. Yeah, that'll be all right. That'll be fine. Okay. Look at that now. I've got that in real time. So we'll record that again. Oh, wait a minute. Take off the cycle. Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh. Yeah, that'll help. So undo. Remember. This is a thing. There's a lot of things you have to remember. No, well, not have to remember. I would have noticed this, but I'm talking at the same time. So let's do that. Oh, are we on master? Yeah, we're back to the arranger. Excellent. Right. Right. Excellent. Here we go. It is the year 2022. Digital complexity needs the funk force. So the funk force shall begin. Most excellent shout out to the super chatters and super fankers. Let's go! Right, so I've got my little intro. It is the year 2022. Digital complexity needs the funk force. So the funk force shall begin. Most excellent shout out to... Right, so what I'm going to do as well is, because I'm, like I said, lazy bone in this, I'm going to copy that audio track and just clear the information off of that audio track so that I've got that as a channel that I can use now for whatever I'm going to do. But I think that song needed to come in a little earlier. So I'm going to, let's go to where was it? Where did the tune come in? All right, so we're going to let that drop in there. So, right then, so let's zoom in. Where was it? It's there, so from 9. So let's move to 9. And we'll do that on this. So we'll move to 9 because we know that's where it starts. Quiet you. Double stop stops absolutely everything. So remember that. Double stop stops absolutely everything. Yeah, you're welcome to do a remix, but I know me. I won't be saving this. I never save out. Oh yeah, the loop. So to get that thing, what I was showing you, that little trick. If you don't want to count bars, nobody wants to be counting bars. You just move that, and I can get to there, and then I can see how much I need to chop off. So keep going, and actually I can use Arranger to see when I need to chop off. So and then I can zoom in, and you know I'm doing it like this. I could just play this and go right. So that's where it comes in. So I'm gonna get into here. So there. So here is what showing me where I want to get rid of. So I want to get rid of bars from 9 to 12 so that it comes in. So I can go into edit, and then I can just go delete bars. And it's not, oh, look at that. There you go. So that's how easy it is. Why did it do that? Because I already had it in loop situation. So it knew where that brace was where it needed to get rid of. So now let's check that out. So we'll rewind it a bit, shift play. So right in. Most excellent shout out to the super chatters and super fankers. Let's go! So that's great for me. Rewind that back a bit. I want to crash in there. So launch mode. Get back into there. There's the crash. Let's go! And I can check, is that right? Did I do right? Let's go! Yeah, okay, so cool. So I'll rewind that back. All of this in real time. I'll go into this channel. And I do. Most excellent shout out to the super chatters and super fankers. Let's go! I wanna know what the hell it is. I'm just making this up like the biz and biz. I remember the days when I used to be able to freestyle and rhyme. But now I'm wicked and wild. No, I'm not wicked and wild. I'm foolish. I'm just making it. Do you know what I did there? I had it on loop. Interesting. It still kept the loop from that point. Remember that? We'll do that again. No, let's say I liked some of that. I don't know what I was saying there, but I want to carry on. So I'm going to press. All I have to do is press shift play from that point. Let's go! I want to know. Keep my finger on this. I'm just making this up like the biz and biz. I remember the days when I used to be able to freestyle. Now I go wicked and wild. No, I don't. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just doing the lyrics and displaying that I'm really rubbish at the rhyming, unless I'm writing in the ped with timing. I don't know, blah blah and chiming. Chibba chibba chibba, I'm an old man now. Chibba chibba chibba, that's it. So shift, well, whenever I want to record punch in and punch out in real time, I keep my finger on shift and then just use record to punch in and punch out. So let's see, we'll go back, fast forward. I wanna know what the hell it is. I'm making stuff like this. I remember the days when I used to freestyle and now I go wicked and wild. So that's quite dope that went. But let's say, for the sake of argument, I was like, oh, that was cool, but it weren't quite there. I can go across to this point here, right? I'll go in closer, press loop. Go to grid. I'll shut this down, and then I can go to wherever the edits are, and I can get that edit right. So let's see, was that edit on point? Yeah, pretty much. But let's say I wasn't quite with it. I go like that, and then what I can do is I can go don't snap, and then move. I can either move it with my finger, or I can move it with the dial. So I could either move it with my finger by doing the low thing and get it there. But let's say I'm like, oh, I can't see what I'm doing there. Right, I'll undo that. I'll move it with the data dial, my favourite thing. Like I say, my data dial. So I'm moving it just little increments there. And that's it. So I've just done a nice edit. The reason why I would use the data dial as well is, I've mentioned this before, whenever you do something, it'll get rid of it. So if I do this, as an example, if I go like this, and I go, oh no, that's not right. Oh, wow. Well, I've learnt something new here. Oh no, because I haven't took my finger off. Sorry, I haven't took my finger off. Watch what happens when I take my finger off. Oh, no, that's wrong. If I go, let me fix that back. Oh no, I've just lost it. Because what it does is it's still there, but it's not there on the track. So undo that. So that's why I'd use a data dial for accuracy. So if I make a mistake, then I ain't going too far off too quick. But you can always keep your finger on. So like, if I wasn't quite sure and I was, oh no, that looks like it's too far, I can always come back. And I could go, all right, then that's it. That's fine. Yeah. Undo. And what's cool as well is I could name this as well. I could go, Fox or Wild, and I could name just that little part. That doesn't change the name of the sample, it changes the name of that part. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more, I don't know. And it's because if I've got this recording part here and I've renamed that, if I go into here and I go to there, it's not called that. Let me go. I want to know what the hell it is. I'm just making this. It's not called Vox because it's that one. Or is it? I don't know. And that's where it starts to get into because you're on that selection. But am I on that selection? So if am I on that selection? Well, let's see. So let's go back to it. Right, let's go. Right, we'll come off it. Let's go back. We'll go back to the arranger. And I'm going to select that part. So I'll come off. I'll select a different one. And then I'm going to select back to that. So I've selected this part here. So if I go into sample, it's not showing. Do you see? This is where it starts to get into because it doesn't do that. It only does that with clips. So now I'm not quite sure what that is. So the only way I can find out what that is, well, I think there's another way. Don't quote me on this. I think if I tap off here and I go browse samples, no, you can't do it that way. So the only way I'm going to know what that is if I zoom in, and I don't even think this works because I've renamed it now. I've renamed that part Vox. The only way I'm going to know what one it is I'm going to have to go in there. I'm going to have to go through all the ones and find that one. It's streaming because it's streaming audio. It said it was the middle one when I first did it, when I first messed with it, but I don't know if that was the last thing I recorded or the middle one. So the only way I'm going to know is if I go, oh good Lord, if I go and I'll call this Vox. So now that's called Vox. I want to know. And then I'm going to have to go, I'd have to go into here and I'd have to see if any of these other ones have been changed to the word Vox. If I haven't, then that's how you select it. If I have, then again, this is really hard. So let's see. And I'm going to have to get really, oh no, I don't have to get close. Do you know what? I can just tap and see if any others are called Vox. So that one's the one I named in here, which doesn't change the name. It only changes the name on there. It doesn't change the name of sample. That's the recording 47. The other one I think was called 51. So let's see. There's no 51. So again, I've got no idea. Is that the Vox? Is that the new one or not? So that's 47. Let's go back here and we can see. We'll have a look at streaming, a look at numbers, and this is where it gets into the weeds. So we've got, and here's where it's even more complicated because you can't pull this out. So I don't know how many length that is. So I'm going to have to click this. All 7. So that one's all 7 and the other one was 47. All 7, 47. So is there a 51 or is there a Vox? So the only way I'm going to know is if I go and click off here and I pretend I'm going to browse a new sample, and then I'm going to go and see 0751. But you see, I wouldn't even know. Hence the reason why I'm not even going to explain that. I would say this is where you have to kind of be careful, and hence the reason why I would say if there's any overdubs or anything that you're going to do as overdubs, I'd do them into clip first. So and you can do comps in clips, but I think I'm going to leave that now. I've done 2 hours and I think that's a lot, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. And yeah, ask more questions, because as soon as someone asks a question, I'll get distracted, but I'll show more stuff and I'll show specific stuff to that. Did I finish? Let me finish it off. Let me see what I got. So let's go back to the beginning. It is the year. It is the year. So this is our little tune. 22. Digital complexity needs the funk force. So the funk force shall begin. Most excellent shout out to the super chatters and super funkers. Let's go! I wanna know what the hell it is. I'm just making this up like the biz of biz. I remember the days when I used to be able to freestyle and rap. Now I go wicked and wild. No, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just doing the lyrics and displaying that I'm really rubbish at the rhyming. Unless I'm writing the peg with timing. I'm an old man now. That's it. So, okay, so we did our thing. One more thing before I go. You see how them vocals they're there, but you can't quite hear them. A quick one of what I could do is I could go into mixer and I could send these two vocals, this one and the other one. I could send these to sub 1. So now they're on a channel to themselves. And what I could do is I could go into the master of this, and this is again, all of this stuff is just stuff what you would do anyway, on not just on here but just in general. But I'm just doing a quick cowboy version of it. Is now I can go in here and I can go down to ducker input. So I'm going to go mother ducker input, put ducker input on, and then I'm going to go out of this master back into here. Oh right, I've run out of space, so because I've got 4 things on this channel, I didn't even realize there was 4 on here. Doesn't matter, we can go and we can make this onto sub 2, right? And we'll go back here again, and then we'll go and we'll say on this effect we'll make it the ducker. So what I've now got is I've got a signal what's going to duck on the vocals. So and then I can tune it into how much. At the moment it's going to be too rough, so you want to change the knee because you want a softer knee for starters, and that threshold, and turn off the gain. The reason why is the gain's going to bring up the level, and you might not want to bring the level up anymore. So it's better you control the level than the level control you, depending on what you're doing. So now it is the year. So 20. That's what this is now like, as opposed to digital complexity needs the funk force. Now you might not be able to know the difference. I don't know, but I can make it a bit more increased. To the super chatters and super funkers, let's go. I wanna know what the hell it is. I'm just making this up like the biz of biz. I remember the days when I used to be able to freestyle and rap. Now I go wicked and wild. So there, that's a bit too soft. That. So. I'm just doing the lyrics and displaying that I'm really rubbish at the rhyming. Unless I'm. You know what I mean? I could probably work on that. But you get the idea. What you can do is you can can use the multi-ducker to sidechain a signal of vocals, so you can get your vocals cutting through. What you could do is you could probably even do it on an EQ if you sent an EQ through that, and then you could just duck out the free. I don't know. Now that's just getting a bit too wild, and I don't think. No, you couldn't do it. Like you couldn't, but you could pretend. You could make a kind of fake EQ ducker. Man, that's another thing on itself. Right. So anyway, let me. All right. So anyway, I hope this one has been helpful. Like I said, if you like this, and I'm going to post this wherever, and if you think I should do this on a weekly basis, I will. I'll do it on a weekly basis, and just come with questions, and then I'll show them, and that'll probably be better, because I'm trying to show about 90,000 things at the same time here, and I keep going, oh, I didn't even get into macros, oh, I didn't even get into note config, and that's for everybody who doesn't understand music theory or can't play keyboards, and how you can end up sounding like Liberace and stuff, and I didn't get into that. So until next time, as always, I always enjoy doing these because I like to show things, and I've put you on my face, and I hope you're all well out there, and I hope you have a great weekend and a great start to next week, and as always,